Pardon? Stick around for our Harley Quinn makeup tutorial. Or else.
The first step is I hydrated Kylie's face with a hydrating mist, just prepping the skin for the first base. So then I took the lightest shade in my Cream Revolution palette and blended it all over her face and down to her neck. So the next thing I wanted to do is I wanted to correct her skin using the Stila Correcting Palette to neutralize any redness or discoloration in her skin. Then I went through with the same pale shade in the Revolution palette and added a second layer using a sponge to push the product into the skin. I then went through with the MAC Pro Paint Stick in white to highlight her face and make it brighter and more pale. I then went through with the Anastasia Brow Powder and taupe and filled in her eyebrows. So next we're going to move on to the eyes. The first step I'm going to do is I'm going to add a primer to both eyes and then set it with a white shadow base. Then I'm going to apply a medium toned brown color in the crease just to add definition to get the eyes prepped and ready for the color that's going to be added. Alright, so starting with the left eye, I took a low pigmented eyeshadow from a Shani palette and applied it to the upper brow bone and blended it in a V shape down to the lash line, blending it out. I then went in with a more pigmented cream eyeshadow and placed it in the places where I wanted more definition, which mostly was in the crease and the lash line. Then trickled it down the lower lash line like it was having like a bleeding effect. On the right eye, I applied a cheek and lip tint in the color pink, and it gave me a perfect wash of color, and I applied that on the outer crease of the eye and blended it down the lower lash line. I then took a very pigmented pink eyeshadow and blended it into the crease, the upper lash line, and down the lower lash line. Alright, so I was really happy with the color payoff, so then I moved on to eyeliner. I took a black kohl eyeliner and smudged it on the upper lash line and then moved on to the waterline. Smudged that as well to add definition and bring out the color. Alright, so we're moving back onto her face. I wanted to put some color back into her skin, so then I took the same cheek tint that I used on the right eye and applied it to her cheekbones. Next I went in with a black face paint and I stenciled Rotten and a heart onto her face. Alright, moving on to her hair. We placed it into 2 pigtails. And then I took pink hair chalk and a blue hair chalk and I blended them on both sides. I wrapped a hair around the ponytail so that you can see the ponytails. And voila, we were done.